What's going down, y'all? Happy Saturday. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the station. It's one half of the Wake Up Crew here to talk some college football prop plays over on Prize Picks for this October the 1st, 2022, Week 5 college football slate. And I just want to say, Evan Hull absolutely destroyed us last Saturday. You can't ask for anything more. 25 plus opportunities, and he could not reach his fantasy score. Northwestern was just dismantled in that one, and they stopped Evan Hull, but he is still one of the highest utilized players in college football, and PrizePicks actually dropped his fantasy score line from 20.5 last week to 14.5 this week. I'm not recommending him as a core play, but I do like Evan Hull more than 14.5 fantasy score. Even against Penn State's tough defense, I'm not staying away from a player that's being utilized that much. Process was right. The results just didn't play out. But let's take a look at the PrizePicks board at some players that I'm looking at this Saturday, and then we'll dive into the data after that. So let's get it. As always, we don't make you pay for picks. We walk you through our process, give you our analysis, take what you like, leave what you don't. All I do is that you ask is that you hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, like the content, and comment below and let me know some players you're targeting this weekend as well. So let's pull it up right now and talk about the three players I like. Bijan Robinson, Devon Achane, and KJ Jefferson. Bijan and Achane, I like both of their fantasy scores, 17.5 for Achane. Bijan, it got bumped up from 20.5. It's sitting at 21.5. I still like it. And then KJ Jefferson, more than a combined 1.5 passing, rushing, and receiving touchdowns versus Alabama. Yes, against the Crimson Tide, still like KJ Jefferson. Now let's dive into the data. Here we go. KJ Jefferson, let's start with him. We got him projected for 2 touchdowns, 230 yards, as well as 53 yards on the ground. Alabama, very, very stout against the run. They give up some yards in the passing game, giving up 282 yards per game, which is 33rd in college football. So you can exploit them through the air. And last year, KJ Jefferson threw for 3 touchdowns and over 300 yards against what I believe is a better Alabama defense than they currently have. So when you're talking about the Arkansas Razorbacks team, how they're going to beat Alabama or how they keep it close, arms and legs of KJ Jefferson. They're going to have opportunities to score. Once he gets inside that 2-yard line, they utilize him like a Tim Tebow, a fullback, a Josh Allen. He has every opportunity to run it in. And then through the air, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the SEC. So I like KJ Jefferson's over 1.5 combined rushing, receiving, and passing touchdowns. His fantasy points also look good in the model as well. But just in case Alabama turns him over, I'd rather just take 2 touchdowns for KJ Jefferson. Now, Devon Achane. This is my number 1 play this weekend. They continue to give us his line, sub 20 fantasy score. And versus Mississippi State, I believe that's a mistake because they're one of the worst teams against the run in college football. They give up 4.13 yards per rush, which is top 5 in college football. They also give up the 7th most rushing yards per game in college football, and they're tied for 4th most touchdowns given up with 6. All of that spells monster game for Devon Achane, who the Texas A&M Aggies are down Aniyah Smith, their top wide receiver, who would also take a couple of carries out of the backfield. Achane is operating as a bell cow. I love this play. My number 1 target on the board this weekend, Devon Achane's fantasy score, 17.5. We have him projected for 23.03. Final player, Bijan Robinson versus West Virginia. They're not good either. They are very bad. They've given up 7 rushing touchdowns on the year. They're a bottom 30 team against the run. Pretty solid against the pass, but Big 12 play, I expect Bijan Robinson to get fed the ball early and often. And when you look at what he's been doing over the past 5 weeks, let's just take a look right here. No, Tyler Scott, we don't want you. Let's look at Bijan Robinson over the past 5 weeks, 24.3, 39.2, 22 versus Alabama, 26.1 versus ULM. I mean, he's just cruising past this number every week. The Alabama game was tough, but he's involved in the receiving game. He's involved running the ball. Love Bijan Robinson. Devon Achane. Let's pull up Achane real quick and just look at what he's done fantasy score-wise over his last 5. 26-4, 23, and then those first 2 games where they really didn't know what the hell they were doing and trying to roll out Haynes King, 14-1, 12-2, but the past 2 weeks he's been on a heater, doing everything for the Aggies. I love this play again. Mississippi State, not a good team against the run. And then KJ Jefferson, right? We talked about him and his passing, rushing, receiving touchdowns. They're not pulled up right here, but you can go pull it up. He's been getting it done, KJ Jefferson, over the past 4 games of college football, and then the projections also sit pretty nice for these players in this game for Saturday. So those are 3 plays, mix and match them, power play them. That's how I do everything. Mix and match, mix and match. There are other players, of course, that I like, but none that I'm going to recommend for you all here. DJU, I like him from Clemson. Jalen Daniels, the quarterback from Kansas. Malik Cunningham, his fantasy score has been treating us well, but they bumped it up to 29 versus a tough, maybe potentially a tough Boston College defense. I don't know. But Malik Cunningham at 29 is an intriguing number as well. Jaden Ott, freshman running back from Cal. I really like his fantasy score line. I believe it's 14.5. He's a phenomenal freshman running back. But these are the 3 plays: KJ Jefferson, Devon Achane, and Bijan Robinson. As always, we don't make you pay for picks. We just ask that you hit the thumbs up button, like the content, subscribe to the channel, check out all the other dope stuff that we're putting out for fantasy football and sports betting. Let me know who you're playing below in the comments. There's a lot of stuff on the board this weekend. I think there are a lot of good matchups. Will Levis versus Ole Miss. Chris Rodriguez is back. PrizePicks doesn't have a number up for him, but the SEC's leading rusher last season back in action versus one of the worst run defensive teams in college football. A lot of stuff to check out. Evan Hall, help us out this week. Help us out this week. I appreciate y'all tapping in. We got NFL plays coming at you tomorrow for the NFL Week 4 slate in the NFL. Appreciate y'all tapping in. As always, if you tail, give PrizePicks hell, and if we fail, don't bail. Good luck and enjoy the games. I'm out. Peace.